Hi there, I am Stephanie and I am Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Today I have my May TBR. For those of you who may not know, a TBR is to be read. So I have a stack of books here that I am going to attempt to read in the month of May. Some of them are just books in series, and that's where I'm at in the series, and some of them are just books I've heard of, and I'm like, that sounds amazing. So I'm going to attempt to read them, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about each of the books as well, so that maybe you'll be interested in reading them as well. Now, I'm going to forewarn you right now, I usually read 4 or 5 books a month. Sometimes I have a good month, or maybe I'm just reading smaller books, I don't know, and I'll get like 7 read, and it's a miracle. But usually it's like 4 or 5 books in a month. I have, I think, 9 over here, so I'm not really sure how that's gonna go over, but I'm gonna give it a shot because they all sound so good, and sometimes I just want to read all books, like all at the same time. Like I'm literally in the middle of a book sometimes, and I'm like, I want to read the end of the book just so I can know what's going to happen at the book, but I also want the journey because I want to enjoy it. You know, girls' emotions, things like that. So the first book that we have today is The Vile Village by Lemony Snickets. Now this book here is the 7th, that's right, 7th book in a series of unfortunate events. Now, there are 13 total, so I was trying to read 2 a month, every month, and then get through the whole thing because I had a friend say, don't watch the Netflix thing until you've read every book because there's spoilers. And did I listen? No, I didn't listen. I watched the first 20 minutes and I got spoiled. So now I know something that's going to be happening, probably the last book, I imagine. I don't know. But I know something's going to happen, and I'm like, why do I have to know? But I do. So I'm going to finish these books faux show. This is the 7th book. I'm also hoping to read the 8th book as well this month. This one is The Hostel Hospital, also of course by Lemony Snickets. And these are the 2 I want to get read this month since I am a month behind. But yes, I'm hoping to get these read. They aren't even very long. If you look at them, they're not that long. The books do get longer and longer and longer as you go on through the series as well. So I am aware that 2 months might become a little more difficult, but I'm a strong girl. I think I'll be okay. Next we have The Murder Complex. This is by Lindsay Cummings, and I actually heard about this book because I follow Sasha Alsberg's blog and have for, I don't know, a few years or so, and she's writing a book with Lindsay Cummings. And then I started watching Lindsay's blog because Lindsay's on Sasha's blog, and she seems interesting and she seems cool, and I like her blogs, and so I was like, I bet I'd like her books. So I picked up The Murder Complex. Now here's the thing, it looks like a scary book. I don't do scary books. I don't like to be scared. I don't like blood and guts. Not for me. Not in movies, not in books, not in TV shows, just not for me because I'm a coward. However, I was told by some people who read this that it's not like a scary book. It's more of a suspenseful thriller. You'll enjoy it. So, those are my dogs. You'll meet them eventually, I'm sure. But I'm putting some faith out there. Basically, this one is about, all I know very little, which is exactly what I like to know when I'm going into books, about a girl who lives near a wooded area, a forest of sorts, and people in her town are disappearing. And she's like, maybe it has something to do with the wooded area, and she starts to go in there and figure out that there's some supernatural something going on in there. That's all I know. Don't tell me anymore. But you can tell me down below if you liked it, you didn't like it, if yes or no, both books. Girls, really? Really? They are looking at me like, what? Stop it. Okay, good one to read. High hopes, this one. The next book is Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. Now, I know what you're thinking, you haven't read this, it's been out forever, and it has, I will give you that. However, I didn't really start reading any YA until like 2 years ago, and then my eyes were open to an entire new area of the library, and I really started reading some, but I'm not strictly a YA reader. I like to read lots of books. I like classics, I like adult books, I like young adult books. I like books that are well written. That is what I like. So I will read some of these, and I've heard amazing things about this. I basically like any book where somebody has superpowers. So I was told that I would like this book. It is a trilogy, and it has a couple little novellas with it too. But I'm hoping to get started on it like this month in May, because I've tried and I have failed. So we're hoping to this one. It's a girl whose touch is fatal. That's all I know, again. And I have started it, so I know a little bit more, but I'm not going to spoil you guys, but I will definitely give you a review once I've read it, hopefully. Next, we have A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. Now, she's also Victoria Schwab. She does write YA under Victoria Schwab, and V.E. Schwab is her non-YA, so more adult books. This is about a guy, this guy. He has the ability to jump between two different versions of London, like two different timelines of London. One has a lot of magic and one doesn't have any magic. So, and he basically like smuggles junk between the two. I know there's more to it than that. This has been a series that has gotten some rave reviews. The one Victoria Schwab book I read, I have loved, and I want to read the whole series. I want to read all three. The third one just came out like a month or so ago. I need to read it. So this is what's going on this month's TBR. Hope I actually read it. Up next, we have Stars Above. This is the novella collection for the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Myers. Now, I have read all the Lunar Chronicles and Fairest and all of those. I haven't read these yet, and I was so excited to get this book. I actually paid like normal full price, pre-ordered the book. I was so excited. I've had it for like over a year, and I haven't touched it at all. Haven't read any of them, so I am going to read these this month. I'm sure they'll fly by. I love Marissa Myers' writing. I am excited to hear what's going on with the characters, because I loved these characters. They were just characters that, you know, they give you all the feels. All of them. You just love them all. Though Chris is my favorite. You just love them all. So I'm excited to read these. Again, don't spoil this for me if you've read it. But make sure to tell me below if you've read this one, which one of the novella stories is your favorite one. And you can tell me your favorite one without telling me what it's about. And then when I'm reading, I'll be like, this is their favorite one. And I will think of you. Next book we have is The End of Oz by Danielle Page. This is the fourth and final book in the Dorothy Must Die series, which is basically a series about a girl, modern day girl, who gets sucked back into Oz. And while she's there, she's from Kansas, of course, like they all are. And she's like, oh my goodness, I'm in Oz. There's a statue of Dorothy. Crazy. And then she finds out that Dorothy is an evil tyrant. And that Dorothy, well, she must die. So it's a 4-book trilogy. There are also 9 novellas to go with it. I'm going to finish up the novellas and then read on to this one. But I have high hopes. I'm a little concerned because the first book is like this thick, and then the next one gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So I'm always nervous when books get thinner in the series, because they kind of lose some of their sparkle, and I don't want that to happen because I've enjoyed this. So I'm looking forward to reading this one this month. Next, we have Heartless by Marissa Myers. Now, this is a Queen of Hearts retelling, and it's supposed to be fantastic. I have already started this one, to be honest. I didn't have time to finish it in April, so I'm hoping I can finish this month. I probably will, because I'm very much enjoying it. I'm about 3/4 the way through it, so I'm pretty sure I can finish it. Very, very much enjoying it. I will tell you this, reading this book makes me hungry for pastries, because Kath is a pastry chef. Well, she is a very, very good cook, and her specialty is pastries, and all it makes me want to do is eat pastries. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm on a little bit of a diet. Pastries are not on that diet. So I've been drinking a lot of water and chewing a lot of gum, and that's been helping me quite a bit. I'm excited to read this one. Now, this is not the special Owl Crate one with the pretty white cover. This one just has a black cover, but I'm going to show it to you because it's so pretty. And the side, it's so pretty. I love it so much. Like, oh, I don't know. I think all books should be beautiful on the inside and out, just like people, inside and out. So this one I'm going to be definitely finishing up this month. Definitely. And the last book we have today is The King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. This is the last book in the Red Queen series. Now, I read the Red Queen, and then like a week later, the second book came out, so I read that too. So it has been like 2 years or so since I have read the first 2 books, so I'm a little nervous that I'm gonna be forgetting things because I do that. So I'm really hoping that I'll like this. I remember when I finished the 2nd book, I'm like, where's the 3rd book? Why isn't it out already? And I was having a cow. But I got over the cow and I waited, and then I got the book and I kept waiting. So I have no good reason why I haven't read this. I'm really bad at not finishing series. So I actually have two end of series books in my book haul. So I really want to read both of those this month so I can say I have read those series. So I'm hoping to get to this one. I can't tell you about this one without spoiling the first and the second one, but basically we have our heroine who is a red blood, like us. And then the more royalty-esque people are silver blood. So this is kind of like a royalty-ish setting, except they have things like electricity. But they ride horses, but they have electricity. Nobody's found the common car yet. Who knows? So basically, she figures out that she also has superpowers like the silver bloods, but she's a red blood. What the what? So it's kind of interesting. Like, I really enjoyed it because, again, I like anything with superpowers. And I really did enjoy the first book. I kind of read it before the hype. Like, there was a lot of hype about these books. And I read it before the hype, and I really liked it. And then by the time I got done with the 2nd book, I kind of caught on to, there's so much hype. And I'm always nervous when books get hyped because I'm afraid I'm just not going to like it as much as everybody thinks I need to like it. And they can ruin a book. So I will try not to overhype anything. I definitely enjoyed the first book. The 2nd book was a lot of bridging to the 3rd book. So I'd say my enjoyment was less, but I'm hoping it's going to pay off. So these are the books that I'm planning to read in the month of May. Please list down below if you are going to read any of these books as well. We can discuss them in the comments down below. And I'm going to try and read all these. If you decide to read one, I don't get to it yet, please don't be mad at me. Life totally happens. Also, if you've read Stars Above, I want you to tell me what your favorite one of those short stories was, and then I'll just be thinking about you when I read it. That's everything I have for you guys today. I'll be back with a new video soon. Until then, goodbye!